This process will walk you through transferring your Google email and Google Drive files to another Google account. There are some additional options, and I'll show you what those look like here first of all. What you need to do is go to takeout.google.com. If you stop at that point, you'll see that there are a number of items that you can choose from to transfer. Most of us don't have all of those items. We're not using them all. So one option would be to deselect all and then go through and check the ones that you want to utilize. So you can check Drive. You can check any of these that you think you might use. The easier method, however, is when you go to takeout.google.com, is to then do /transfer. You'll see this comes to a much more simplified version or view of this, and then you can walk through the process. So you'll need to have another Google account, some personal account that you can use. So I set one up for this one. This is the test teacher account in the school district. So I just set one up that's similar to that earlier. So what I'm going to do is type in that email address and say send code. And then I need to go check that to verify that I got that email. So I've actually got that window open over here, and you can see that that email came in. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to get that confirmation code. So it's a good thing to have both of them open, and the best way to do that, to have two different accounts open, the easiest way is to open a guest window. And let me bump back just to show you how to do that. When you're logged in, when you're on your Chrome browser, if you click on the little icon that's here and select guest, that will open up a guest window that you can sign into. That just helps to keep things separate. So now that I've gotten this verification code, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come back over to my school account, and I'm going to enter this code. You can do Control-V or right-click and paste. And then I'm going to verify it. So now I've done the first two steps. I've put in the new email. I sent a verification to that. It sent a code. We saw that code over here. And so I pasted that code in, and now that's been verified. So now both my accounts can talk to each other. So the next step is I'm going to move content from my test teacher account to my personal test teacher account. And in this one, it's a very simplified version of it. Everything that I own, and that's the trick there, but all the files that I own will be sent over to this new account. All of my email will be sent over to this account. So let's think about that for just a minute. If I come back over here and I go to my Google Drive account, as test teacher, it'll say me. That's who I'm logged in as. Okay. This folder here is owned by someone called Dwayne Embry. So that folder will not be pulled over for me, if that makes sense. So anything that doesn't have your name as the owner, or me as the owner, will not get pulled over. So I'm going to come back over to transferring my content, and I'm going to go ahead and say start transfer. So now this is going to transfer everything from my drive, everything from my email to this new account. So I will start transfer. And it may prompt me to log in again into my Walton County account. That's fine. You can go ahead and do that. So now this is in progress. It does say it can take up to a week for the transfer to complete, and that you'll get an email once that's done. I'm assuming that email will probably come to the test teacher, the new one, the one that's not a school-owned account. So we waited about 10 minutes or so, since there's not much in this account, and we're already seeing quite a bit of movement. So I wanted to show you what that's going to look like. So again, here's my school account as test teacher. I'm going to switch over to my personal account, and you can see that a number of emails now are beginning to show up. And one of the nice things about this, at least at this point, is you can see this US Prep training is still there in my teacher account. So you've actually got copies in both places for a little bit, just in case you need them. But you can see that all of these emails are now being pulled over here, and they're being tagged, the date that it was moved and the account that it was moved from. And just a step backwards, when you first start the process, you're going to get an email like this that verifies that this stuff is being transferred. So again, it's getting tagged here. If you want to leave it that way, then that allows you to go in and just look at this mail. If you're using an account that you already have established, that you're pulling everything over into that already has lots of email in it, then you may want to keep these tags, because it's a good way of separating them out. If you want to get rid of those tags, the way you would do that is come up here to Settings, go to Settings, choose Labels, and then if I scroll down to the bottom, there are those two labels. So I can remove a label. Let's remove this date that it was moved. What it's going to do is just take that label off. It's not going to take the emails away. So if I say delete that, then now you can see that that label no longer shows here. And if I go back to my inbox, now only one label is showing on those emails. You could do the same for both of those if you wanted to, just to remove them. It's up to you as to how you want to handle that. So let's go over to Drive. So when you transfer things over, you're going to get a folder that includes everything that was transferred from that previous account. And there's my work account there. If I open that up, then all of the folders that were in and all the files that were in my other drive are going to show up here. So let's go back and look. Let's go to the drive here, and let's see if the read write is over here. Read write. Looks like it took read write, so that's a correction that I can make. It looks like it is copying that over for you. So read write, shared items, stuff. You can see that there probably are some things that are not copied over yet, just because it's waiting to do that. But it looks like most of the stuff that you had in your drive is going to come over with this transfer. So just be aware, one thing I didn't mention earlier, the school accounts have a ton of storage. And you can see on this test teacher account that 4.7 gigabytes are being used. But if I went above the 15 gigabyte storage, then when I went to my free account, I would reach that limit. So just be aware, if you have a lot of stuff in your school drive and it's over 15 gigs, and again, when you go to Drive, you can look here to see how much storage you're using, that it'll stop once it hits that mark. So that may mean you want to clean out some things you don't want to take over, just to make sure you get what you need. Again, if you have any questions, please submit a help desk ticket.